Alright, hello everybody. Welcome to this is probably gonna be the last summer 2020 set for Ninjago for season 13. As you know, these sets have been long delayed, and I've mentioned this way too many times. Like, the sets have been delayed for so long. Now we finally have them, and it's now September. So yeah, so this is the biggest set from the season 13 line. This is called Skull Sorcerer's Dungeons, almost at Dragons. But previously I've done Zane's Mino Creature, Wu's Battle Dragon, as well as Skull Sorcerer's Dragon, which was a collaborative review with Darren. So that was a pretty special one, and you can definitely go check that out first before we look at this one, because this is kind of a follow-up to the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon. This one, of course, Darren's not here this time. It's just me. The only reason we did the Dragon set together was because he also had the set for himself. Yeah. So today it's just us, and I would say right now, if you want to get the Skull Sorcerer, there are two ways to get him: this set or the Dragon. But let us look at the set, this set, and then later on you can watch the Dragon set video, and that will help you determine, maybe that'll help you determine which is the better option to get the Skull Sorcerer. So, without further ado, let's take a look at this dungeon set. And here is the box. This is the big set. This is the biggest set of them all, and just slightly under $200. So this box does pack quite a punch. Game experience inside right there. Very nice art with Shintaro right there on the top. And what else can I say? Oh yes, set 71722 with 1,171 pieces. And then up here, you just get the names of all the minifigures included in the set. And then on the back side, just showing you all the play features for the set, and it's showing you the game experience, the whole board game experience that you can do when you buy all your sets and combine them all together. Shows them right here, the whole diagram, all the different play features, etc. Other than that, there's nothing too much to see in the box. I did notice now that Darren has mentioned it from the Dragon set, the sets here sit on a wooden slab. That's pretty cool, like a real life wooden slab. You gotta really pay attention to the box art, because that is very, very cool. Like, and even it's got the rust on it. That looks pretty. Here, I'll show you just a little bit closer. There you go. You see the wood? That is very cool. I literally, if it wasn't for Darren, I actually wouldn't have noticed it. But yeah, apart from that, that is the box. Let's move on to the set. Now, first and foremost, this is Skull Sorcerer's Lair. This is the main big bad guy base set. And this thing is underground, so it's technically like a volcano. So there's a lot of volcano-y things happening throughout the set. First impression, first thing you gotta notice, of course, is the giant skull mark on the mountain side right there. Very nice build. Very TV show accurate, I'll tell you that right now. Obviously, in the TV show, the layer's gonna be like 10 times the size of this. So, but this is like a toy, so they gotta, you know, bring down the scale. But still can't ignore the fact that, my goodness me, like, what a behemoth. Just that skull print right there, like, just without a doubt. Let me just zoom in that thing. Look at that. If you look at it from like a closer point of view, of course, it may, you know, not look that appeasing. But just from a distance, just, yeah, this thing delivers. It has that evil layer look on it, you know what I'm saying? So that's very nice. Now, notice how this is the big portions over here, but then on this side is where all the like side portions are. So I guess the only logical way to start is from the entrance. Now, this set does function for two purposes. Number one, it can just be used as a set of its own. Number two, it is the main base for the Ninjago Season 13 board game, which can be played if you get this set, plus a few other sets. You combine all the terrain builds together, and then you can get the board game. I will not be doing it on this channel. sorry, if you want to see it, I suggest go watch other channels that have done it. I will not, because I don't plan to get all the season 13 sets. So, but I definitely don't want to miss out on this. You know, this is the main big base build. So, this is the main this is the main thing you're gonna need if you want to play the board game. Before you even think about getting any other sets, you need to get this one first. All right. I'm gonna assume this is like the starting point in terms of the board games. Like this is like the entrance. You got the nice skulls with the green flames on the top. Very nice steps here, and then the drawbridge. The drawbridge doesn't fail to amaze. Very nice drawbridge. Kind of reminds me of like a ribcage style. Well, I think it is a ribcage style build. Very nice. Like just it's very spooky. It's very evil-y. Evil-y. I don't know if that's a word. And just, yeah, you got the little teeth there, which of course has a play feature, which has a purpose. I will show you that shortly, but that's still pretty nice, regardless. And then I guess there's nothing much on the right side, so we'll just get the right side over with first. So on this side, you've got just a small drawbridge. Again, these are steps for the board game. Just so you get another spider there over this skeleton, this bony drawbridge. Oh wait, the camera doesn't see it. Right there, that bony drawbridge. Very nice aesthetic, you know? At least this whole terrain build here doesn't look boring. The drawbridge really, you know, gives it a bit of life. Haha, ironic. Spider, as I've showed you earlier. And then, I guess, on this side you got like another suspension bridge, which is on two ball joints on an angle. Again, I believe this whole purpose here is for the board game because there's like a golden heart there, which I can only assume, which marks, you know, extra life for, you know, your heroes if you're playing the board game. At least I'm pretty sure that's the purpose of it. Okay. Notice how there's this dangling cage here. Well, yeah, very nice cage. The open way is actually like this. You just flip this open, and inside you can store like a prisoner or like a captured ninja or something. And it's attached to some string right here. Yes, it has a purpose for that. It's part of the main play feature for this set, so I'll show you that shortly. And then I guess the last thing to show back here is this interesting railing, which uses skeleton feet in brown, and then the railing itself is a rifle. I didn't see that coming. That is very, very creative. Yeah, and then you just get like a box here full of weapons and stuff, you know, for the awakening warriors to fend off their kingdom from the ninjas or something. I don't know. So that's this whole right side. We'll move on to the top, the throne room, in a bit. There's also stuff inside, but let's move on to this side now, the left side. Now this is the part where the build kind of like branches off into its own category, if you will. So starting off, we've got, on this side, we just got a sign here in probably the skull language that I'm not familiar with whatsoever. Get more steps up here. Again, these are all, you know, for the board game. Very nice drawbridge here. Whoa, another spider. There's so many spiders in these sets. Lots of spiders. Just crawling up the side, and then another bridge here. And you got like a little thicker portion of the build here. Very nice. And you just got this like ladder that goes up to like another bridge. This thing is removable, so if you want, you can lift this whole bridge up by moving this up with it, like that. And then you can just bring it back down, just like that. So there's a chain attached to the torch here, which will help you, you know, lift and close the bridge. Just like that. Done. It's done very well, in my opinion. I definitely think this is pretty well done. You know, I'm very impressed with the way it turned out. Without question. And then on this side, what is this? Vertical slabs, or well, yeah, little wedges sticking out. And the pillars here, I love these like rock pieces. It really makes the terrain look awesome. That pillar build, solid. And then, if we move on up here there's this big pillar thing here, which actually acts as the turning knob for the main play feature of the set. But we'll come back to that shortly because I want to go through everything else first. Moving on this side, we got the main drawbridge with, you saw it, axis right there. That's also part of the main play feature. We'll show you that in a second. Extra life right there for your characters if they're playing a board game, or the board game. And I guess here's just a poor little fish being roasted, but there is no fire in that campfire. So, not quite sure if that fish is actually being cooked or not. And then last thing, or before we go inside, I'm just gonna show you the top here. This is the main throne room, and probably these side pillars on the side. That is built very nicely with the rib cage pieces there. Oh, it really looks like, it really gives the whole creepy vibey look. That looks very, very cool. And of course, Skull Sorcerer is in the way. Let me remove him for a second. Now, you can see up there holds another Blade of Deliverance. This time it's the other one. It's not the white one, it's the black one. This one has to be my favorite one. From the two Blade of Deliverance that we have, the white one and the black one, without a question, it's gotta be this one. Because, I don't know, I'm just a big fan of the black color. And just, yeah, and the way it's tucked right up here, just slides down here, very, very simple the way it's attached. And then you can see there's another knob here, and you can see what I just did. That kind of like closes up the pillars here. All right, so this is zoomed out a little bit more, so you can see I've basically closed this whole thing out. Yes, you can move these ribcage pieces if you want, but I suggest keep them the way they are. But you can just keep them folded up like open up like this. I honestly prefer it like this because it shows it gives more of a better shape. But as you can see, the Blade of Deliverance is exposed. So when you do this, it just covers up the blade pretty nicely. So the objective of this board game, which I can only assume, is to claim the Blade of Deliverance. And once you get up here, you can open this up and review the blade. So that's very, very neat play feature. Just, yeah, reveals, very nice. You know, it gives another whole aesthetic look. Now, the main play feature. That's only one. The main feature itself, like I said, it starts off from the knob, or this big knob right there. Now, let's start off by breaking it down part by part, and I will show you the overall thing. First thing you'll notice is when you turn this knob, the axis on the bridge here spin. Very, very nice. You can see it does the job very well. The second thing that happens when you turn the knob happens down here on the drawbridge where we showed you earlier. Watch those steps very carefully. When I turn the knob, you can see these steps are going up and down. That's, again, I guess, a way to throw off your characters. This section, these two are the ones that move. So if I turn this, look at that. It's executed very beautifully. That is very nice. Now, the last part of the play feature, you gotta go back to the cage. So here's the cage. I turn the same knob again. See how it's lowering the cage? Now if I turn it the other way, the cage goes back up. So, to show you the overall play feature, so the whole thing comes together with one simple knob. So if I just do this, you can see the blades move, bridge, and the cage. And the whole mechanism is built throughout the entire build here. And that is done very well. Like the gears in it, I don't think I'll be able to show you the gears, but super impressive. I'm very, very happy with this. What do you guys think? Do you think that's cool? Because I certainly do. Alright, I could sit around and play this all day, but we've got a set to review. Next thing we're gonna look at now is inside the dungeon. And it all starts here, the lava door. Now the build of the lava door and the pieces in it, 100% my favorite thing of this set. It's done so well, the pieces look awesome. I'm just a big fan of it. But that's how we're gonna get inside. There is a play feature, another one. Yes, this set has a lot of play features. That is, this door is actually clipped together. And you can force it open, oops, by not snapping out the skull at the front. But rather, let me put this back on. There we go. But rather, taking this, and you just gotta use some force, push hard, there you go. Now the door is broken open. So the door is actually locked by just lightsaber clips that's hidden inside. And that's how the doors stay in place. So you force it open by pushing this little sucker right here. So inside, you can see, is the other Blade of Deliverance. But a better way to see it, of course, is when we turn this thing around. Voila. Here is the completely backside of the dungeon. You can see some of the gears working in place with the string and everything. That's very nice. We'll take a closer look, but first, let me show you a little hidden axe behind this rock on the side build. So that's a little Easter egg. Now you can see just the other side of the axis. Then you can see some of the gears here at work. There's a white spear right there. And then some gold down there. The details really matter, honestly. And then you can see there's like a little cage here, but that's also where all the gears are hidden. And then see that little gear wheel there, that connects to the drawbridge. And then the other goes here, more gears, and then the string right here, which functions for the cage. Very nice. And then here's the Blade of Deliverance, the other Blade of Deliverance, with the doors wide open. So to reset them, again, you need to use a little bit of force. Not too hard though, you don't want to break the build. There we go. Push that back in. Now the door is shut. One more thing. Very back of the gold section, you can see there's a little golden pouch back there. Right there. I know the camera can barely focus to see that. Alright, second level. There is a second level, which I can only assume is the Skull Sorcerer's private room or something. I don't know, because these two holes here, the windows here, they're the eyes of that skull build at the front. So that's pretty nice. And also up here, you can see the gears for the other play feature up there. Okay, so this is Skull. Yeah, like I said, I can only assume this is Skull Sorcerer's room. So I guess on the side here, well, that's an interesting set of armor. You got an armor stand with, yeah, again, that's a pretty interesting set of armor. Maybe the Skull Sorcerer wasn't always a bad guy because, well, look at the painting there. Not quite sure what has to dictate, but like I'm pretty sure it has like Skull Sorcerer before he turns evil. Yes, I have seen the show. What I'm saying may be relevant to the story, it may not be relevant to the story. I'm saying this to avoid spoilers, but I can tell you, maybe that's what Skull Sorcerer looked like before he turned evil. But I gotta say, if you haven't seen this season yet, it's a really good season. Skull Sorcerer is one of the best villains in this Ninjago franchise. I have to say that right now. So do check out that when you have the chance. And then on the side, just got another sign right there. Not quite sure what that is for. There's that, I already showed you the portrait. And then on this side, just got like a, these are all bright things for a really evil guy. Maybe Skull Sorcerer isn't a bad guy after all. I mean, these are some pretty bright colors, you know, for a guy this evil. So that's a little interesting. Maybe that's part of the story. We'll never know. Actually, I do know, but I won't say. And then you just get a little balcony up there, you know, for the sorcerer to chill. Of course, when you look it up here, the sorcerer basically sits up there as part of the throne. But yeah, and then one final look at the skull. That's what the other side looks like. Like the eyes here, that's the other side of the windows of Skull Sorcerer's room. Now, that is the entire dungeon gone over. We've seen the play features, we've seen the other builds, we've seen the interior, and I gotta say, this dungeon, very good, because it does offer quite a lot of stuff inside, and with the play feature and everything. So, let's take a look at the other stuff in this set. Everything you see in front of you is for the sole purpose of the board game. First and foremost, the Spinjitzu Slam dice piece, which has appeared in a lot of other sets. Dragon has it, Mino Creature has it. Basically, 80% of the sets have this piece. So it functions like a dice. Like, I guess you throw it, and then no matter which way it spins, depends on, I don't know. Just, it's a cool piece overall. And then the other two things here are these little stands, which actually are for your characters if you're playing the board game. The 3 hearts here to represent, you know, how many lives they have in total. And then you got the little barrel here, which is to store their weapons / accessories and so forth. So there's that. So I said this in the other videos, if you are not interested in a board game, I suggest just focus with these builds, just focus the pieces for your own builds, you know. It's not really worth displaying with the rest of the set if you're not interested in the board game, but still, pretty nice stand with 3 hearts. There's that. Alright, the minifigures now. First and foremost, we have the 3 ninja included in the set. We have Zane, Cole, and Lloyd, all called Hero Zane, Hero Cole, and Hero Lloyd, but I still just prefer calling them by their normal names, but their outfits really make them look like knights and crusaders, so I will say that. Zane and Cole are not new to me. I've gotten them in the Mino Creature set, but regardless, here they are. Zane's got the crossbow, he's got the shield. Very epic. You take off the helmet, there is no secondary face. But Zane's got that nice white gold color scheme, very nice torso print. Shoulder armor is also very nice. Yes, and then we have Cole with a big hammer, also a shield. 2 faces. Ever since the Ninjago movie. There we go. So, yeah, Cole and Zane aren't new to me, but Lloyd is new to me. This is the first time I have Hero Lloyd. Very nice. Sword, I would say, I mean, this is his, like, iconic sword, so I guess it's fine. Shield, very nice. All these shields have some pretty darn sick prints on them. It's very nice. And then here's Lloyd himself. There you go. And take off the helmet. There you go. Nothing too shabby, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so that is the 3. Oh, actually, wait, might as well show you. Lloyd has an alternate face. And it's been the same since Ninjago movie. Alright, so that is the 3 ninja minifigures, including the set. But there are several other minifigures. We have these 3 blokes. On my left here is an Awakening Warrior, which I said you actually get 2 of these in this Dragon set. I'm pretty sure they appear in several other sets, but basically I said in the Dragon set that these guys are basically with the skeletons because they're kind of a remake of the old classic skeletons from the very first season of Ninjago. So basically, yeah, these are the with the skeletons, but I can't ever mention the fact that the skull print and the mold is it's a very nice piece, and it's one of Darren's favorite pieces, as he's mentioned in the Dragon video. The helmet reuses the old Garmadon helmet with the bone on top, and just, yeah, the Awakening Warriors are probably one of my favorite troops in terms of like just soldiers for Ninjago. These guys are just very awesome, but unfortunately you only get 1 of them in this set. And if you want more of them, you gotta get the other sets. This set only has 1 of them. Okay, in the middle we have this tiny little guy whose name is Ginkgo. I believe the other set you can get Ginkgo in is Zane's Mino Creature. And he's got 2 little daggers, he's got the hood. And he's like he's a pretty short guy. So, can't expect too much out of him. Take off the hood, he has 2 faces, a freaked out face and a very, you know, snickering face. And then we have this guy, who's new to me, but he's appeared in cheaper sets, of course. There are cheaper ways to get him. This is Mert. Very tough looking dude with an axe. He got the, I would assume, his shoulder armor. Very nice, very nice mohawk. I believe that's a mohawk. Please don't attack me for being mistaken. That's pretty nice though. Unfortunately, not really sure what that stud is here. Is that his hat or something? Yes, I've seen the show, so don't say I don't know, because I do know. But, yeah. Bert or Ginkgo? I really gotta say Ginkgo from these two. But, of course, nothing can beat the Awakening Warrior. So, there are two more figures which are slightly more special in this set. Well, the first one being the Skull Sorcerer, but he ain't so rare because he appears in two sets. This is the second Skull Sorcerer that I have. The other time you can get the Skull Sorcerer if you haven't seen the video, which is his dragon. And so, nothing's changed for this one. Literally the same build as the Dragon Skull Sorcerer. Same thing. The skull. The skull that's really the real evil thing. Very nice piece. The print is very nice. I swapped the arms because usually he's supposed to hold it on his left arm, but you know what? I have two Skull Sorcerers, I just might as well switch up the order. So literally the same prints. He's got the nice robes, and then when you take off the hat and the mask is one whole piece. That's quite. I was actually expecting this to be two separate pieces, but it's one whole piece. That's pretty special. And there's his face, which again reminds me a lot of Garmadon. Does that not give you Garmadon vibes? Because that really does give me Garmadon vibes. And of course, he's got the wings attached with the transparent piece, because of course, it's not possible to just stick the wings on his back. But there you go, you cover that up. Skull Sorcerer, one of my all-time favorite villains of Ninjago. And not rare in this set, but this is the more expensive way to get this guy. So, there you go. Even though the Skull Sorcerer is not the rare figure in this season, this person is. This is a princess. The Princess of Shintaro. Princess Vianna. I might have butchered that name, but she is exclusive to the set. So, the only way you're gonna get her is through this set. And she really reminds me of Goldilocks. Not gonna lie, but yeah. So the exclusive figure here, Princess Vianna, not gonna say her purpose in this show, but let me just say, she is nowhere near Harumi. Harumi is also a princess, but we later found out Harumi is evil. Vianna here is not, okay? I'll just say that right now. Very nice kimono robes. The face is nice. I took off the hair. You can see she's got a secondary face. The hair piece itself is like this soft, kind of a hard, but then it slowly gets softer. In terms of rubber, this is like a rubber plastic, soft plastic, definitely not like the super hard plastic. It's yeah, on the softer side, but there you go. The super rare figure included in this set. Now, it's time for the final verdict. So, value. This thing is about $200, I think. It's actually maybe a little bit under 200, but definitely, this is a lot smaller than, what was it? What was the previous one? I think it was the Castle of the Forsaken Emperor. That castle is a lot smaller, but it had a pretty decent dragon. This one is much bigger, but doesn't include a dragon. But of course, the sole purpose of this set is to function for the board game, and this is most of the board game happens on this set, which makes sense given that it's the biggest. But if you just look at this from a point of view of a set, definitely this will be a very fun play set. Kids are gonna have there's a lot of things going on here for kids to play around with. It's definitely gonna be really fun. Like, you got the door, you got the giant rotisserie that happens throughout the entire build. The selection of minifigures is pretty nice. The princess, of course, is exclusive to the set. The Skull Sorcerer, the second one that I've gotten him before, but definitely it's an alternate way to get Skull Sorcerer. Get yeah. Apart from that, everything else in the set pretty nice. If you want to really get all these sets for the board games, this is your priority set. You must get this set first before you even think about getting the other sets for the board game. But I'm just looking at this from a set point of view, and I guess my final grade for this set, I'm thinking like a solid 7 out of 10. It's good, but with all these side builds, all the other stuff sticking out, it's gonna be very painful when you're moving this thing from table to a shelf or something. well, without the risk of something snapping off here and just dropping to the floor and shattering. So what I suggest instead next time, Lego, just make a big base plate, like maybe a big lava base plate. I wouldn't mind if you increase the price a little bit, just include that big base plate, because if you think about it, it's going to be easier for a kid to just hold the whole thing up and move it to a table. If, like, for example, they're playing with this on a table and then the mom has to like use the table to set up for dinner, then the kid can actually move it to the floor or something without the risk of this section here just just falling off and shattering on the ground. So yeah, maybe include like a big base plate that's orange that matches the color, so it'll be like also have all the lava. I think that will make a lot more sense. But yeah, but then again, that will increase the price. But that's just my suggestion, and I'm just thinking about like this from a point of view if a kid was to play with the set. But apart from that, the set itself is pretty good. I am quite happy with the way it turned out. It's done pretty nicely. What more can I say? Lava door definitely is my favorite thing in this whole set. And yeah. Alright, that's it for this one. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more. Once again, on our milestone to reach 300 subs. Maybe by the time this video comes out, I'm already at 300 subs. We don't know. We'll see. So, that's it for this one. We'll talk to you again in the next one. Bye for now.